Rules Committee will come to order. Before I go into my formal statement, I'll advise everybody that's up here. Obviously, we have a lot to get through in a relatively short amount of time. And will not change our normal procedure. That is, members are invited to ask any questions they want, take as much time as they think they need. I do feel compelled to tell everybody that's here that if we don't get our business done by 6:30 or so, then we'll have to come back after tonight's deal. So I'll leave that to your discretion to decide what you need to do. Also, just by way of notification, as soon as I read my opening statement, I'll go down and join the panel since I'm chairman of one of the bills that's going to be considered. And at that point, Dr. Burgess will be managing from up here the hearing. So, good afternoon. I want to welcome you all back to the Rules Committee. It's been a long few weeks in the House of Representatives, but I'm very happy to continue our work on behalf of the American people. There are many promises to be kept and challenges to be addressed. I'd like to remind everyone what's at stake. As we are meeting today, it's likely families and people across the country will be sitting down to dinner or driving home. What will be on their minds? The high cost of groceries and gasoline, an unsecured border, the safety of their family or children, and the worries of surging crime are all probable and all of concern. I also know there are many hearts and minds looking both at and past our shores. Increasing aggression and hostilities against us and our allies have become a frightening and sobering reality. We watched in horror as the terrorist organization Hamas attacked our friend and ally Israel, murdering men, women, and children in cold blood. We shuddered at the news of the elderly Holocaust survivors and babies slaughtered in the name of evil. News of the atrocities committed by Hamas and other Iranian-backed proxies against bystanders across the region grows darker and more horrible by the day. Israel has rightly chosen to defend itself and is presently undertaking a military operation to eliminate Hamas. That's why the Rules Committee today is taking up the Israeli Security Supplemental Appropriations Act, which will provide $14.3 billion in needed security funding to support one of our strongest and closest allies. I stand firmly behind the state of Israel and with the security funding before us today. The protection of innocent lives against depraved militants should not be controversial. A unified approach on this issue and the other objectives before us is needed now more than ever. With government funding running out on November 17th, we must continue to push forward. Shutting down the government is not an answer. I'm proud that the House of Representatives has continuously worked, even when extremely difficult, to deliver single-subject appropriations bills. We have stopped House Democrats' tradition of taking up bills that were thousands of pages long, written behind closed doors with little time to review before voting and no opportunity to amend, and instead are working to pass all 12 bills through regular order. To date, the House has passed 5 appropriations bills covering nearly 3/4 of all discretionary spending. I'll note our colleagues in the Senate have not passed a single appropriations bill in 3 years. However, that's not stopping us from our commitment to passing the remaining 7 bills for the American people. In fact, today's hearing will cover 2 more of these measures. The first of these I'll discuss is H.R. 4821, the Department of Interior, Environment, and Related Agencies Appropriations Act. With a focus on fiscal restraint, this bill delivers essential resources for clean water, public safety, and domestic energy production while implementing multi-billion-dollar savings for taxpayers. Importantly, it limits efforts by the Biden administration to unduly burden hardworking farmers, ranchers, and landowners through their flawed Waters of the United States rule and Abuse of Endangered Species Act. It also ensures that we are leveraging an all-of-the-above energy approach by unleashing significant oil and gas reserves, especially in my home state of Oklahoma, which will expand production to these valuable natural resources. H.R. 4821 is a strong bill, and I look forward to supporting it on the floor. Our final item today is H.R. 4820, the Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development and Related Agencies Appropriations Act. As the chair of the THUD subcommittee, I'll be a witness on this bill and will save most of my comments for my testimony. My bill proudly prioritizes funding to strengthen our infrastructure, support transportation system, enhance aviation safety, and maintain affordable and safe housing for vulnerable populations, including the elderly, the disabled, and veterans. Investments in programs like Meals on Wheels and the Boys and Girls Clubs and Indian housing programs are also emphasized. I'll have much more to say shortly, but I'm very proud of this measure. I look forward to a lot of hard work to get to this point, and I'm very pleased that we're moving forward. I'll now yield to not our ranking member, but my good friend, Mr. Neguse from Colorado, for any remarks he wishes to make.